Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into a really gripping world, one brought to life by Bill Vincent and presented by the folks at RWG Publishing.
Yeah, absolutely. We're tackling the end times, this, well, compelling post-apocalyptic saga. Our plan is to really unpack it, using key parts of the story to get a handle on the narrative, sure, but also the deeper stuff, what makes these characters tick, survival motivations, those twists you don't see coming.
Kind of a shortcut to understanding Daniel Warden's whole struggle.
Exactly. Consider this your essential guide.
And it's some struggle.
Mm.
The world doesn't end with a bang, like you might think. It's quieter, creepier almost.
The cleansing, that's what it's called. This invisible, silent plague just dismantles everything. Governments fall, cities turn into these chaotic free-for-alls.
Right, and the story picks up 6 months later. No government, no real safety nets, nothing. Just raw survival.
It throws you right in. And that's where we meet Daniel Warden. He's our main guy.
Military background, right?
Yeah.
So used to structure.
Precisely. Accustomed to order. And now he's literally watching the world outside his window just crumble. But his first instinct isn't despair. It's this really powerful refusal to just let it end there. He's determined to fight back, its core.
That core determination gets tested almost immediately, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As we get into what the book calls the collapse, his first steps into this new nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Can you even imagine watching the very last moments of normal life?
He sees it happen. The news flickers out. The anchor's voice is just gone. Then static. Pure silence. It's chilling.
And the thing is, Daniel was prepared, in a way. He had supplies, food, water, escape routes planned out. His training kicked in.
But practical prep is one thing.
Exactly. As the text says, nothing could have prepared him for the sheer weight of watching everything fall apart. It really hammers home that difference, you know, between having gear and actually facing total societal breakdown, emotionally, psychologically.
And then the city itself just goes up in flames. His escape from his apartment building.
Yeah.
It's intense.
You can almost smell the smoke through the descriptions. Hear the looters breaking into other apartments.
And that moment, hearing a family pleading for help down the hall.
Right. And Daniel makes this incredibly tough call. He keeps moving. He can't save them. Not if he wants to survive himself.
It's brutal. It sets a really stark tone for the kind of choices people are forced to make. Survival stripping away maybe the usual rules of morality.
It definitely defines his character early on. The streets outside are described as just an inferno. Broken glass, burning cars, bodies. It's grim.
And his training takes over again. Moving low, using shadows, avoiding conflict, unless absolutely necessary. It's sheer pragmatism.
Not about being a hero, just surviving moment to moment. Ruthless efficiency, really.
But then in all that destruction, that quiet after the initial chaos, something happens. A little flicker.
Yeah, the radio, a faint crackle, someone talking about survivors gathering somewhere. An outpost.
It's such a small thing, but it changes everything for him, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It gives him a goal, something beyond just running away. It turns his escape into, well, a quest. It taps into that basic human need for connection, for a future, however tiny that hope might seem.
That tiny spark really fuels the next part of his journey, what we're calling seeking shelter. He's still alone at this point, moving through the city.
Still facing constant threats, looters, gangs, just general danger everywhere. But you see his resourcefulness, too.
Like finding that first aid kit. Seems small, but...
In that world, it's huge. Every little find counts. But the real shift, I think, is that first major combat encounter.
Oh, right. The looters in the store.
Yeah. 3 of them, armed. And Daniel takes them down, first with a knife he had, then finds a bat, and finally gets his hands on a rifle from one of them.
It's described with this cold efficiency. It shows how much he's already adapted.
He's not just a soldier following orders anymore. He's become something more primal, a survivor who does what's necessary, quickly, brutally.
That intensity continues. He finds this old, half-destroyed church, looking for just a moment's peace, maybe?
And finds Sarah instead. Another survivor, just as determined as he is. Sparks fly, but maybe not the romantic kind initially. More like mutual assessment.
Yeah. And she has a proposition right, strength in numbers.
Exactly. Her group is heading north, chasing a rumor of a safe zone. She makes the pitch stick together, better chances.
Which forces Daniel, this lone wolf type, to make a really difficult choice. Can he trust these people?
It's a huge turning point. He has to weigh his instinct for self-reliance against the sheer, grinding difficulty of making it alone.
The reality kind of forces his hand.
It seems so. He joins them. And it's tested right away when they bring another survivor, Greg, into the fold. It's this fragile alliance born out of pure need.
And this fragile alliance makes its way towards Sanctuary. What's the first impression?
Visually impressive. High walls, watchtowers, armed guards. It looks like salvation after everything they've been through. You can feel their hope.
But there's a catch, isn't there? Someone in the group isn't buying it.
Mac, he's more cynical. His first reaction is basically, looks more like a prison. And that line just hangs there. Great foreshadowing.
Sets the tone for meeting the leader, Marcus.
Right. Marcus runs the place. And his philosophy is stark. Strict order, absolute control. Structure is the only way to survive, in his view.
No room for error.
None. He makes it clear. No weakness, no dissent, no laziness. Break the rules and there are consequences. Unspoken, but clearly understood.
So, safety, yes, but at what cost? Freedom, basically.
That's the trade-off. And they feel it almost immediately during their probation period.
You get assigned jobs.
Yeah. Daniel's a shooter, Sarah does maintenance, Mac and Greg work in agriculture. But there's this constant unease, surveillance, unspoken rules, the feeling of being watched.
The cage feeling starts to set in. That initial hope starts to fade.
Exactly. The price of safety becomes very, very clear. Personal freedom is checked at the door.
Okay, let's just pause here for a second. Think about this journey. Collapse, escape, the false promise of sanctuary. Daniel and the group have been through so much already. You can really feel the tension, the constant pressure.
It's incredibly well paced by Bill Vincent. You're right there with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling that tension, if you're hooked on Daniel Warden's fight and wondering what happens next in this broken world, you really owe it to yourself to read the whole thing.
Definitely.
We've got a link to The End Times, a post-apocalyptic saga by Bill Vincent, right there in our show notes. Go grab it on Amazon, dive in, and experience the full story. It's worth it.
All right, so back to Sanctuary. That uneasy feeling, it only gets worse. We're moving into seeds of doubt and a desperate escape.
The whispers start.
Yeah, people noticing things. The chilling idea that maybe folks don't just disappear because they ask the wrong questions. It gets creepy.
And someone warns Daniel.
Ethan, another settler, he gives Daniel this cryptic warning about Marcus using leverage, using information against people. And he plants this really nasty seed of doubt, suggests there might be a spy, someone feeding Marcus info, maybe even within Daniel's own small group.
Oh, wow. Paranoia sets in. That erodes trust, which is the one thing they need.
Totally. And the tension just skyrockets within the group. Daniel, Sarah, Mac, Bigura, they start seriously talking escape plans, the South Gate, tunnels they heard about, maybe hiding in supply trucks.
And Sarah starts suspecting someone specific.
Greg. She notices he's jumpier than usual, disappearing at odd times. Her intuition is screaming that something's wrong.
Which forces Daniel's hand again. He has to confront him.
He does, and you see Greg just crumble, and the momentary panic gives him away.
He was the spy.
Yep, betrayed them. Feeding info to Marcus, apparently out of desperation, maybe hoping for better treatment, safety for himself.
That's rough. So what does Daniel do?
Makes another one of those gut-wrenching calls. He leaves Greg behind. The line from the book is something like, "In this world, there's just survival." Loyalty becomes complicated, expendable almost.
Chilling. So they make their move. Into the tunnels.
Into the tunnels. It's described as this grave, dark, and silent place, like descending into, well, a tomb.
And it gets worse, right? Not just darkness.
Yeah. Daniel falls, stumbles into a deeper chamber, and finds bones. Skeletal remains. It's a burial ground hidden down there.
Okay, that ramps up the fear factor considerably. It's not just about Marcus and Sanctuary anymore.
Not at all. The environment itself is hostile now, and then they encounter something else.
The creature.
Yeah, just described as a blur of motion, these horrible wet scraping sounds. It attacks Mac, then Daniel. It's vicious.
They fight it off.
Barely. A desperate scramble, a narrow escape, but it confirms this terrifying idea. The danger isn't just human anymore. The actual earth, the ground beneath them is predatory. It adds this whole new layer of horror.
But it's not just horror. There's mystery, too. The symbols.
Right. Amidst the terror, they find these strange, glowing symbols on the walls, ancient-looking.
Not just graffiti.
No, they seem deliberate. They hint at some kind of vast network, connections to old temples, ancient shelters. It suddenly opens up the world, suggesting a history far older and more complex than just the recent plague. Maybe secrets to survival are down there, too.
Fascinating. So the tunnels offer escape, but also danger and mystery.
Exactly. And Daniel's intuition, his gut feeling, leads him to find a hidden door, a narrow passage away. But they're not alone down there. Something is chasing them, relentlessly.
So they escape the tunnels, finally reach the surface, hoping for, what, freedom, a break.
You'd think so. But no. They emerge into a forest only to be immediately surrounded and captured again.
Seriously, by who this time?
Organized soldiers, disciplined, wearing makeshift military uniforms. This isn't some random gang.
Which leads them to the New Order. Sounds ominous.
It is. It's another settlement, a fortified compound. But right away it feels different from Sanctuary. Harsher. More like a prison camp. With forced labor, really tough conditions from the get-go.
And another imposing leader, I assume.
Commander Rook. Described as cold, calculating, imposing. His worldview is even bleaker than Marcus's, if that's possible. He believes the old world is dead, totally gone. Only absolute order control can rebuild anything.
What's his offer? Or threat?
It's an ultimatum, basically. You'll work, you'll follow our rules, and in return, we'll keep you alive. Survival stripped bare. No pretense of community, just obedience for existence.
And they see proof of his methods pretty quickly.
Brutally fast. They witness a young man beaten savagely just for collapsing from exhaustion while working in the fields.
Okay, so this isn't just a cage like Sanctuary. This is active cruelty.
Right. It solidifies it for them. This place is worse. Survival here means something even more degrading.
But maybe there's resistance here, too.
Interestingly, yes. Daniel overhears a hushed, secret conversation. A guard talking to a woman. They mention a plan, a rebellion, simmering just below the surface of Rook's control.
Another difficult choice. Trust these unknown rebels. Could be a trap, right?
Exactly. It's incredibly risky, especially when Rook himself seems to sense something.
He confronts Daniel.
Yeah, pulls Daniel and the group aside. Doesn't accuse them directly, but gives this veiled warning about making unwise plans. He's suspicious. The pressure is immense.
So they have to make a move?
They decide to go for it, join the rebellion. It's desperate, but staying means slow death or brutal subjugation.
What's the plan?
Bold, strike at dawn, hit the main tower, secure the armory to get weapons, and take out Rook himself. A decapitation strike, basically.
High stakes.
Extremely. The uprising kicks off. Chaos erupts. Daniel, Sarah, Mac, they're leading the charge, fighting guards, pushing towards the tower. They actually manage to secure it.
But Rook reacts fast.
Like lightning. Sends in armed troops, heavy weapons. It turns into a full-scale battle within the compound walls.
And things look bad.
Yeah, the treks are pushing towards the main gate. So Daniel and Sarah come up with another desperate, high-risk plan, the Inferno.
Rigging fuel barrels.
At the fuel depot near the gate. The idea is to blow the trucks, destroy them before they can breach the walls completely.
Does it work?
It does. A massive explosion, deafening, rips through the gate area. Buys them time, but it's absolute chaos. But the fight isn't over. Rook has an ace up his sleeve. Or, well, a monster.
The behemoth. What is that?
Some kind of war machine, towering, twice the height of any man, covered in weapons. It just rolls out, seemingly unstoppable.
Oh, great. Just what they needed.
Right. They throw everything they have at it, grenades, whatever weapons they manage to grab. They actually manage to disable it for a moment.
A sigh of relief.
Short-lived. It powers back up, reactivates. It's just this relentless symbol of overwhelming force.
So how do they possibly deal with that?
They realize they probably can't. Not directly. Not an escape.
Oh.
Which leads to...
His sacrifice.
His ultimate sacrifice. He makes the call. He'll stay behind. Rig charges in the main tower they captured. Bring it down on top of the behemoth, on top of Rook's forces, whatever it takes.
Buy time for the others.
To buy time for Sarah, Mac, and the other survivors to escape through those tunnel systems again. It's... yeah.
The farewell with Sarah must be intense.
Incredibly emotional. A testament to everything they've been through. The cost of leadership. The price of survival.
And he does it.
He does. Detonates the charges. The tower collapses in this huge cloud of dust and debris. He manages somehow to slip away into the tunnels himself just before it all comes down.
Wow. So he survived.
He survives, and eventually the group emerges, not into another compound, but into an overgrown clearing surrounded by dense forest. It feels different, wild, untamed.
A real escape this time, maybe.
It feels like it. They journey on, find this beautiful, lush valley with a river, a potential new beginning.
And they find someone there.
A young girl, Kara. She's alone, silent, doesn't speak. But her presence is described as a quiet comfort, a symbol of innocence, maybe, amidst all the brutality.
So they try to rebuild. again.
They do start a settlement, plant crops, even build a small schoolhouse, trying to reclaim some semblance of normal life, of humanity,
Daniel steps up as a leader.
quietly, naturally. Ryan, another survivor, even acknowledges it says Daniel kept them together. There's this feeling of fragile hope, cautious optimism. They're rebuilding, but they know.
Doesn't last forever.
Exactly. They've learned that lesson too many times.
And sure enough,
Sure enough, the piece is fragile. They find a body, a stranger, out in the woods near their settlement.
killed how?
Disturbingly, deep, jagged slashes, not animal wounds, something. Deliberate, sinister.
So a new threat.
A new threat. Tension immediately floods back into the community. Patrols are doubled. That hard-won peace feels like it's already evaporating.
And then the warning comes.
The final chilling scene from these excerpts. Nightfall. A lone figure, cloaked, approaches their gate. Taps it with a long, jagged blade.
And delivers a message.
Oh yeah, you've been watched. And soon we'll come for you.
Yeah.
Just ice cold.
Wow. So the fight is far from over. Their sanctuary is now a target.
It seems the cycle just continues. Every safe place eventually becomes contested ground.
So wrapping this up, what does it all really point to? Daniel's entire journey through collapse, through sanctuary, the new order, the tunnels, now this new threat.
I think it's a really powerful exploration of what survival actually costs. It's not just about finding food and shelter. It's about leadership, the immense burden of it. It's about trust who you give it to, how easily it's broken. It's about sacrifice, often devastating sacrifice.
And ultimately about hope, right? That constant search for it, even when things seem impossibly bleak. The resilience of the human spirit.
Absolutely. Despite everything, they keep trying to build something, keep searching for safety, for community.
It leaves you thinking, though. If every sanctuary, every safe haven comes with such a heavy price-controlled betrayal, constant danger, what does freedom even mean in a world like that?
That's the provocative question, isn't it? Is true freedom even possible? Or is it just this ideal you fight for perpetually, knowing it might always be just out of reach, but fighting anyway because...
Well, because you have to.
Something to definitely chew on. Daniel Warden's story, as Bill Vincent tells it, is clearly far from finished, and what we've talked about today is really just scratching the surface.
It's a deep, complex world he's built.
For sure. So if you've been gripped by this, if you're sitting there needing to know what happens next with Daniel, Sarah, Kara, and that chilling warning,
you know what to do.
you really do need to pick up The End Times, a post-apocalyptic saga.
Huh?
We've put the Amazon link right in our show notes for you. Don't miss out on the rest of this incredible story.
Highly recommended.
Thank you for listening to the Deep Dive podcast. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and stay well informed.